Welcome to eCommerce MasterPlan's 7 Secrets of E-commerce Success, presented by Chloë Thomas. Thank you for investing your time with us to learn how to make your e-commerce business more successful. In this first video, Chloë will explain why you need to identify your e-commerce business structure, how to do it, and how it impacts on differentiating your business.
What I would say e-commerce is, it's a business selling products or services, just like you said, and that takes money online. So it could be a business like the eCommerce where I sell books and I sell training and I sell events and people can purchase that online. It could be a client of mine, Cornwall's Cottages, who sell cottage holidays online, or it could be Amazon. It's that whole spectrum, and it's basically a business that sells something that is purchasable online. So it affects a growing number of businesses around the UK right now. E-commerce failure. So we all know that in the UK 1 in 3 startups fail. We know that, there's some new numbers that just come out from the US that suggest that 3 out of 4 firms with venture capital backing fail. These are the guys with millions and millions of pounds to spend and all the good people, and 3 out of 4 of those are failing. So for the rest of us, we should be looking, we're also in danger in the smaller businesses. We should be looking for the ways in which we can make sure we're going to be finding those successful methods. And some fascinating stats that came out last year from the University of Tennessee. Now this is US data, but I think we can assume that US and UK business owners probably behave in fairly similar ways. 47% of UK retail businesses fail in the first 4 years. So 1 in 2 e-commerce businesses that start up are going to be gone within 4 years' time. There's the really scary details I found from the same study is that the reason why those businesses failed, 46% of them failed through lack of planning. How ridiculous is that? 30% failed through lack of managerial experience and 11% through lack of sector experience. Only 1% of those businesses thought that the reason they failed was down to legal issues or neglect or disaster. 1%. Which means most of those business failure reasons are avoidable. And an e-commerce business is just like any other business. It's just as likely to have these problems. These, from the same survey, are the top 10 reasons that businesses gave for failing. Pride, I think we can all be guilty, certainly of it to some extent in our business lives, and I think all of us can relate to one of these 10. Now, I'm not going to be running through with you how to solve pride as a problem or how to stop you from going into business for the wrong reasons. But what I am going to be trying to share with you is some of the ways in which you can avoid failure by having proper plans and proper experience in place, and also how you can strive for success too. So we know e-commerce is just like any other business. You can fail in e-commerce just like you can in any other business. The rather worrying thing is that this is a statement given in December of 2012 by the managing director of one of the big agencies down in London who do every form of marketing. And he said that digital is 10 times as labour intensive as traditional media. Now, for people involved in e-commerce, you're going to be involved in digital, and you're likely, and it's going to be more labour intensive than just going through the traditional media, and that's because there's no plan out there. That's because it's very difficult to know what you should be doing. And the thing which is the reason I've written the book and the reason I'm speaking to you today is that I hate the fact that people are wasting time and effort and energy and resources on the wrong marketing, on the wrong marketplaces, on the wrong activity. And the 7 successes I'm going to run through with you through the rest of this presentation are the 7 secrets that no one else is going to tell you that are going to help you to avoid some of the failure mistakes and help you to make your business successful. So, number 1, identifying your e-commerce business structure. This is the number 1 reason, in my opinion, from all my experience, why e-commerce businesses fail, is that they don't understand the structure of their business and that leads them into making the wrong decisions about management structure, about where to invest their money, about the products they buy, about the way they market themselves, about absolutely everything. This is the bit which sits at the centre of any e-commerce business. You'll be glad to know there's only 7 options. So it should be relatively straightforward to work out which one you is, which is why it's so ridiculous that so many businesses get this wrong. And these 7 are identified and split up by the route they choose to service their customers via. So let me explain that a bit better. Some of them sell via physical locations. So they have a shop or a series of shops. So on the far right there we have bricks and clicks. Bricks and clicks businesses are the Boots, the HMVs, the companies who have multiple retail stores and a website. Boutique bricks and clicks are your local haberdashers who happen to have a website as well. So they're those local businesses that maybe have 2 or 3 stores, maybe a local clothing boutique, and they have a website to service those customers online as well. Usually the boutique guys, they've got quite a dedicated customer base they want to serve online, or they're selling quite a niche product. So they want to try and sell that same product range to a more global audience. And you've also got the full multi-channel guys who sell via everything. Then you've got catalogues, still a big and very effective route to market in the e-commerce world. And a catalogue is, in this instance, it's not a little 4-page pretty magazine of your products. This is something which you can pick up the phone and place your order via. It's got prices, it's got product photos, it's got product descriptions, it's got order codes. And that relates to the mail order businesses and the full multi-channel businesses. So of course they've also got to have a website to bring the route to market, and all these guys on the right hand side have the website. So our online only, they're not doing catalogues, they're not doing stores, they're just selling online. And then the oddest, which actually was mentioned in our question and answer section earlier, are what I term the piggybackers. These are the companies who don't even have a website of their own. They're selling, in the piggyback sense, via Amazon or eBay, so they're leveraging off that website basis, or they're what I call a niche piggyback, which is companies selling via websites such as Etsy or Folksy, or there's a lot of book websites that do the same thing, where you load your products onto these niche sites that are selling in a certain area. And it's surprising when you start looking how many of these sites exist to service different customer needs and different product bases. And that's one of the most exciting areas, I think, in e-commerce at the moment. So it should be quite easy for a business to identify which of these 7 they are. And I mentioned pastimes earlier that I worked at the second time it went under. And there were other reasons as well, but for me one of the big contributing factors was that it was a company which had over 100 physical stores at that time. It had an e-commerce website, and it also was mailing, I think we had an 80,000 house list the last time we mailed to them. That's house list being people who've bought in the last 12 months. So a big mail order list. But the company was running as a mail order business. And it wasn't a mail order business anymore. In fact, it was pretty much running, the website was just an order taking channel for the catalogue. You've got 100 or so stores. You can't just load one lot of products at the beginning of a 6-month season and not change it up until the end of that 6-month season. It doesn't work. And so the buying structure, the marketing structure was all built around the catalogues, despite the fact it wasn't a mail order business. It was a multi-channel business with over 100 stores and thousands of staff, but you were running it to support the catalogue, which was decreasing its house list 10% year on year. Not surprising they failed. So one of the things which your e-commerce business structure will help you identify is various ways in which you should be running your business. And one of those in particular is your USP, because let's face it, we all know you can't succeed in business unless you've got a USP. This is a table taken directly from the book of the USPs that are possible depending on your e-commerce business structure. It's worth noting that the only single USP that goes across the board for every e-commerce business structure is the products, is the only USP that goes across every single one of the 7 e-commerce business structures, because products can always be a USP. Customer service, if you're piggybacking, using Amazon or eBay to go, you're not in control of customer service. So if you want to build a business that looks after the customer, then being a piggyback business is not a good idea because you have no control over customer service. So this is just one example of how your e-commerce business structure can start defining how your business works and how your business operates. So the e-commerce business structure, my number one tip for avoiding failure, because everything you do should flow out of it.
If you'd like to learn more about e-commerce business structures, get yourself a copy of eCommerce MasterPlan 1.8, your 3 steps to successful online selling, available right now on Amazon, Kindle, iTunes and Kobo, or from ecommercemasterplan.com/books.